In London?
In London?
Name of every single horse inside the stables there because he is a horse bonanza.
Before we get started here, there are a few things that you should know. One, I am by no means Casey Neistat. I am not a fancy and or skilled daily vlogger. So there will be a mixture of voiceover like this and me talking to the camera in person. Also, because this trip had some crazy and hectic moments, there are a lot of chunks of time that are missing, so I will do my best to fill in the gaps. Now, what you didn't see before this moment is our 8-hour flight out of Washington, D.C., where none of us got more than an hour of sleep. I don't even think I slept for 15 minutes. So we landed in London completely exhausted. We found our hostel okay, got settled into our room, and then got some food. So we decided to fight our jet lag by going out and doing something, and we settled on taking a double-decker bus tour. And honestly, it was a great decision because the weather was perfect. It was honestly amazing weather the entire time we were in London, and we really lucked out because it wasn't cold and raining or anything like that. But it was just great to sit there on a bus and not have to stress or think or move, for that matter, and get to see all the main sights. You know, we saw Westminster Abbey, we saw Parliament, we saw Big Ben, which I know is the bells in the tower and not the tower itself, the more you know. We of course saw the London Eye, which we ended up doing our last day. I feel like Joey and Chandler.
Swings like a pendulum do. Bobby's own bicycles 2x2. Westminster Abbey, the Tower of Beacon.
So the bus tour company that we got our tickets from also came with tickets for a boat tour on the Thames. Thames, am I saying that right? We were never sure the whole trip if we said it right. Anyway, but we hopped off and did a nice little river tour on the Thames.
To the left, the oldest monument in London. You get the best view from this position, said to be over 3,500 years old.
That's pretty old.
There is a twin. It was always built as a pair. The sister to this needle. It stands in Central Park, New York City. There's a lovely hotel to the left. The building with the flat green roof. The Savoy Hotel in the Strand.
Our tour guide was great. Honestly, all of our tour guides during the whole trip were awesome. It was always nice when we had a tour guide for something because we got to learn more about the history and get to know the city that we were visiting a little bit better.
An exact replica of William Shakespeare's Globe Playhouse Theatre. The only building to be allowed a thatched roof since the Great Fire of London.
True story.
Lights of London. Tower Bridge is, I would say, just as famous as London Bridge, really.
And that was all I got because then we went back to the hostel and went to bed at, I think, 7 o'clock. We started off our next day by heading over to Buckingham Palace for what we thought was the changing of the guard ceremony. Some context here is that the night we flew out was also the same night of the Manchester attack at the Ariana Grande concert, so everything was kind of on a heightened security level and the ceremony was canceled that day. We didn't find out until later, but it ended up being okay because we still got pretty good pictures in without a bunch of people and crowds, and we also saw the Queen drive by. Oh, and you should probably know the people I was traveling with. This is Alex, this is Peyton, and this is Christina. Now that we're all acquainted, next we hopped onto another tour bus because our tickets were good for 24 hours and we wanted to see more of the city that we hadn't seen the day before, you know, learn more about the history and, of course, most importantly, not have to walk everywhere. So we took the bus down to Tower of London, hopped off there, got some lunch, I took some Instagrams, and then we walked over to Tower Bridge. And here we are at Tower Bridge, taking many pictures for Tina. No, I'm just kidding. We're all taking pictures.
That was rough.
Sorry, I apologize. Oh yeah, and there's Tower of London. Not so much a tower as a fort. It's not really a tower. Don't know why they call it a tower. We then went for a tour of the Globe Theater, but it turned out they were having a matinee performance at the time and we couldn't take the tour. But I still had a Shakespearean photo shoot. We got to walk on the Millennium Bridge, which is the one that the Death Eaters destroy in the beginning of the 6th Harry Potter movie. It's not in the book, but it was still pretty cool to get to see some Harry Potter real-life things because, you know, we're massive dorks. Then we went to the crosswalk that's on Abbey Road to take the iconic picture, but it's actually super awkward because it's a really busy street and there are tons of other people there who are trying to do the exact same thing you are, so you kind of have to wait and take turns, and then you have to go when there's a break in traffic and try and time it out right. Anyway, here's what we got. Yeah, not our best moment. Our next day was probably one of my favorite things we did, and it was the Harry Potter Studios in London. Ah, it was amazing. Anyway, I debated about how much of this I wanted to put in the vlogs because I did film a lot, surprise, surprise, and I didn't want to, you know, overwhelm people. But then I decided that I did want to include a lot of this because not everyone is going to get a chance to go and see it themselves. So I hope that you can share in our excitement via this video.
Away. And then I'll meet everybody by the fireplace in the center of the room.
Look, it's me. It's Slytherin. It's me. That's my house. Oh my god.
All of you in here today.
Oh my god.
Now, you may have only been in the Great Hall for a
It was really awesome to get to see all of these sets and props and costume pieces and everything. There were also all these workers throughout telling you fun facts and trivia about everything. But I talk about it a lot, and it was almost overwhelming because there was just so much to take in and you wanted to look at everything. I don't even know what to film or take pictures of. There's so much, and it all looks glorious. Hey, remember the old fat lady? I like the new one. Before they got the annoying one? Yeah. No, I like that one. She's dignified and classy. Here's the entrance to Dumbledore's office and the big massive clock tower. This is Dumbledore's office, which I really loved because Dumbledore is one of my favorite characters. It was just amazing to see in person all of the attention to detail and hard work that these producers and set designers and creators put into these awesome, amazing films. I'm just in shock and amazement, and I don't really know what to film or if I should just not film and just be here. But the detail, like they were just talking about how the architectural design of Dumbledore's office was the inspiration for the inside, how it starts with 3 levels. The detail that goes into this is just amazing, and I don't even know where to look or where to start, or it's insane. This is insane. I could be here for days, probably. Days. Snape, you got what you deserved. That's why I said it. Snape got what he deserved. Harsh. I am not a Snape apologist. They also made it really fun by putting all these little interactive parts throughout the exhibit, and just look at the joy on Christina's face. And then over there, they have all the people flying brooms, which we're not gonna do because we don't have money to buy the picture. Okay, I'm gonna take a video. I love that classic Gryffindor Quidditch music. Oh, this is so great. Look at the motorbike. That was really zoomed in on me, wasn't it? I just saw someone do it. Yay! It worked! This is low-key terrifying. Look, she's moving up and down. Ooh, there's Lucius like, can I leave now? Or what? There's the magic version of white supremacy right there, and Nazis. Way to keep it lighthearted, Mary Clay. And into the Forbidden Forest we go. Ooh, spooky. Oh, there's Hagrid, so it's okay. Are we gonna say acromantulas? Probably. Because I don't want to. Those
Harry
aren't
Potter ride, Harry Potter ride.
Yes! They like go in your face. Yes. It's scary. For me, the scariest part was the Dementors part. This is getting scary, spooky. Oh no! Oh no, it's the webs. This is the only way to go. You have to go through here now.
Hi guys, if you want to come on up so we can get the display started.
Uh-oh.
This way for me.
That doesn't sound good.
All squeeze together, make some friends because you're going to have a very scary experience.
Uh-oh. Oh no, that doesn't sound good.
And
Oh
he's
no.
going to start doing something special.
I can see him.
2, 1.
Oh my god. They're everywhere. How did this scene not emotional?
And the baby spiders around him, but they're not actually as small as you might think. They're actually, when they're outstretched, they can reach 6 foot. And this one here can reach 18 foot when its legs are outstretched completely. So they are absolutely huge. Our special effects team have added individual hairs. So if you were to feel him, you'd feel a bit prickly and weird. The spider's webs, the cobwebs, are made out of fishing rod. So they're fishing rod and it's been glued together to make that pattern. And if you want to have a go pressing those buttons, you're more than welcome. He's about to go back, so make sure you've got a photo. And I hope you enjoyed that.
You have to say it. You have to say it. You didn't say. Wow.
Okay,
say
turn
with
it off
feeling.
and say it.
Expecto Patronum.
See, I did it right. We of course took pictures at platform 9 3/4 and they had the classic music playing and I kind of just wanted to cry. Take it away, Anne!
Yeah, take it away, Ernie.
It's also a gorgeous day, which is apparently rare for the UK. Here we are in the creature shop. Just heads everywhere. Oh, there's the mandrakes. Oh, there's Luna's hat. Oh, look at that. There are the mandrakes. That has to be Luna's. Oh my god.
As you know, acting is half.
And this was my favorite room with the music playing and the castle. It was just astounding. Wow. That sweeping, soaring music, the lighting went back and forth from night to day. It was just perfect. So I'm gonna let you look at it and just take it all in. Everyone, what are your reviews of Harry Potter Studios?
12 out of 10. I liked it. Would recommend.
Perfect. It was amazing. I think what made it go over the top was like all the mood music. Like the music that was playing with the really big model of Hogwarts was like A+ beautiful. It was great.
That was probably one of my favorite rooms.
Yeah, same. That was one of my favorite rooms. Yeah, for sure. We finally got our tour of the Globe Theatre the next morning where I wasn't allowed to film, but I did kind of a little bit.
It's also illegal. We're breaking the law right now. Have you guys all heard of the Great Fire of London? Yeah? In 1666, everyone had thatched roofs and the whole city burnt down.
I got another dramatic picture in, and then we rushed over to Buckingham Palace for the changing of the guard ceremony. Unfortunately, we didn't get there quite in time to get a good spot, so we couldn't see much. All we could really see were people and phones and cameras. I held my camera up really high above my head and tried to watch it through the screen, but even then I couldn't see much because it was so bright and sunny. This is hopeless. There's just so many people. This just gives you an idea of how crazy and insane and crowded it was there, how many people were there. Now, I don't know if it's like this at every ceremony or if it was just like this because a ceremony earlier that week had been canceled, but as the crowd started to trickle out, we were able to see more of the ceremony and check this off of our London bucket list. I can't stress enough how gorgeous this weather is here. It is absolutely outstanding. We're here in Trafalgar Square, and it is just an unexpectedly gorgeous day. I was expecting it to be raining and in the 60s every single day, but it hasn't been. After lunch, we just had a chill, relaxing afternoon. We weren't really in a rush to get anywhere, so we just hung out in Trafalgar Square for a little bit, watched some of the street performers before heading to the London Eye. Now we are on the London Eye. This has been on my bucket list, I feel like, for a while. Say hi. Say hi, Christina. Still got a long way to go to the top, though. Oh my god, my battery's died. And that was the last thing that we did before heading to Italy the next morning. We had a great couple of days in London, and seeing the city from the top of the eye was a great way to end our time there. We're in the Coliseum, and Lizzie McGuire gave a dazzling performance in a horribly inaccurate movie. We're on a gondola, in case you can't